Now you've got a bunch of other things that are interesting. The world has a big thirst for digital currency in the form of a stable USD coin. Like the world wants a Tether or a Circle coin. In fact, the world probably wants $10 trillion of it. And the world's only got about 150 billion right now. So there is a demand for that, but then there's a big debate about who can issue it, a bank, a company, a set of entrepreneurs, right? Who, and that will continue. I think that with regard to regulatory clarity, I think the theory was pretty clear in 2010. Actually, the theory was pretty clear in 2015. If you want to create a commodity, it must have energy and it must be without an issuer. Okay, so if I take gold or oranges or oil or a bushel of grain, and if I remove 99.95% of the energy, you have an imaginary orange, imaginary oil. You have a security. If you remove the energy from a commodity, you create a security. That's just common sense, right? And if a small group of programmers can write a piece of software that makes all of the oil. If you created a company and you gave yourself the stock and then you sold stock to investors and then you sold the general public and then you keep changing the code that controls what you can do with the stock, it's a security. So I think what Gensler said is just because you don't like the guidance doesn't mean you don't have it, right? Um, so, to that point, I think that we're going to actually see the industry mature. I think it's getting harder and harder to feign ignorance and for people to be oblivious to these material differences. Um, I think that there are some crypto organizations that are lobbying both sides of the fence, right? And I think that's frustrating. But I also think there are some Bitcoin only uh, organizations that are doing a good job of articulating the ethical benefits of proof of work. Uh, I do support some of them, and other people that I know support some of them. And I would encourage anybody to support the Bitcoin only organizations because they don't have a conflict of interest. Um, I think, you know, to the point, if we start from basic principles, we wanted a treasury reserve asset and we wanted a digital gold or a digital commodity. I think that in the dimension of will it be banned? No, it's going the opposite direction. It's not being banned. And now we're back to this issue of will it be copied? It got copied thousands of times, but most of the times the copies were imperfect because the people that copied it didn't understand the engineering elegance. It's like copying the wheel but making it an octagon, or making it a rectangle or something. It's like they copied it wrong. It actually was extremely elegant because the goal of Bitcoin was to be able to support hundreds of trillions of dollars on the base layer and let you build other layers like Lightning and applications on top of it and serve as the foundation. So they copied it wrong for the most part. When you put all the other Turing complete functionality into the other copies, they made a mistake. What they should have done is just copied it right. But of course, you can't really copy the Immaculate Conception. And everybody that copied it wanted to make money. And the point is, if you really wanted to copy it, you need to create something more elegant and you need to not have any economic interest in it and you need to give it as a gift to the world and you can't actually make money off it and you need to disappear. So that's the way to copy it. I think that the irony right now, and I'll finish my comment, is they start out with a good idea and then they run out of money, and so then they go look around for someone to give them money. And so I think like 40 or 50 years ago, someone gave money to a Greenpeace type organization to lobby against nuclear power. And probably it was the oil and gas industry that gave a lot of money to these charities to lobby against nuclear power, to shut down the nuclear power industry. And then, ironically, another 30 or 40 years, the solar and the wind lobby gives money to them to lobby against the oil and gas industry. And then when they run out of that, other crypto promoters are giving money to these environmental lobbyists. They're just giving them huge amounts of money to lobby against Bitcoin. It's like that. It's not really bona fide environmental interest. If you're an environmentalist, you would be focused upon saving the trees or saving the seals or doing something in order to cultivate parks and the like. But 99.92% of all the carbon comes from something other than energy that fuels proof of work. So I actually think it's, in fact, hospitals use energy, right? So if I went to you and I said, I'm going to eliminate your hospital and I'm going to replace it with a virtual imaginary hospital that's going to actually lower the cost of healthcare, and I'm going to fix your avatar up whenever your avatar has an imaginary heart attack, I'll give you imaginary surgery and I'll make you imaginary healthy, and you could pay me in imaginary coins, and then you'll go home imaginary happy, right? I mean, sure, you could do it, but it's ridiculous. It's like meta money for the metaverse with meta energy.
So maybe give us, for the last question, give us your outlook. How is this going to end? Are the other cryptos just going to be ruled securities and just going to basically disappear, and then people will flock into Bitcoin? Is this going to hit Bitcoin maybe? What if the lobbyists are successful and Ethereum becomes a digital commodity, quote unquote? Bitcoin has also been used now on the state level, or at least we see rumors about this. What are you seeing? Where are we going in the next couple of years?
I think that the market is going to become more and more educated, and as the market gets more educated, it's going to see the virtues of Bitcoin as the dominant digital commodity, and that'll continue. The second stage, right? I mean, if you think about it, first people need to understand why Bitcoin is a superior crypto asset to every other crypto asset for a long-term store of value or for sovereignty. That was the first thing MicroStrategy went through. The second thing they need to understand is, why is Bitcoin superior to gold as a bearer instrument or a commodity or precious metal store of value? And so that's going to be the second stage. And the third stage is, why is Bitcoin as crypto property superior to other forms of property? Right? The crypto world has about $1 trillion worth of money floating around, and we're trying to sort out which is the superior crypto asset, right? And for what? And the truth is, I really believe the killer application is a Lightning wallet on 8 billion smartphones that has US dollars as a short-term medium exchange and payment network, and BTC as a store of value. And it runs on Lightning, and then it is secured by the underlying Bitcoin base layer. That is going to be the voice over IP moment, or the web, the Netscape moment, when you actually have the ability to download a Lightning wallet in 30 seconds and trade US dollars with all 8 billion people on the planet friction free. When that happens, that'll go viral, and hundreds of millions of people will first grab that in the first year, and then billions of people will grab that.